Can you say hello?
Getting set up. We're nearly
Say
there.
hello. Alice, say hello. That's it. Lily, say hello. Hello, little superstars, aren't you? Hey? Say hello, everyone, Isla. Hello, everyone. Hi, Matt.
Right, okay, we're live. We are live. All right, perfect. Hello, welcome back to Mindset Explosion, Season 3, Episode 22. I'm being joined by lovely Emma Austin-Goodall and two lovely girls. Who we got? Is that Isla?
We've got Isla Rose.
Yes.
And Lily May's just run off.
Oh, okay.
She might make an appearance again in a minute.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thank you for coming on, girls.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, a pleasure. So, well, obviously, Emma, you're training with us from time to time, but this
Who's this? Hang on, here we go.
Hello.
Hello. Say hello. No, we're not performing today.
Don't worry. They've probably been probably tired from your walk earlier. Listen, thanks for coming on. Obviously, I've been following you on Facebook, for a long time, but obviously closely over the last however long we've been in lockdown. And I thought, what a great story to share. Yeah, great. Our mindset. So, Emma, tell us, basically raising some money, right?
Sorry, just for a minute. Let me just sort out my children.
That's all right.
Off you go. Daddy's gonna take you.
The girls have been raising money by doing a marathon or a mile a day. All right.
See you later.
I'll raise money for NHS and Bernardo's, and we'll have a chat with Emma in a minute, and we'll find out a little bit more the reason behind that and the inspiration of that as well. So Emma, so the girls have been doing. They haven't been running a mile, though, have they?
No. So they've been doing. The initial plan was to walk a mile a day. My phone's now going off. To raise money for Bernardo's initially, and then also the NHS, given the current crisis that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
But I got the idea through an online on Facebook. I saw an advert come up for Bernardo's, and the initial plan, like I just said, was a mile a day for 5 days. Bernardo's only suggested you do it for a one-off walk, but you know me, I like a challenge. So we went from 5 days, and then after all the interest and the fun and the excitement and the money that we've been fundraising, we decided to up it to 26 days. So we're now doing a marathon, a mile a day over 26 days. And they are loving their walking to the point that they're doing sometimes 2 miles a day, which is fabulous. And it's generating a lot of interest, which is great.
Yeah, what a great age to start as well. So I caught a photo, I don't know if it was last week, Emma, but they were in the paper and they were looking at themselves in the paper. How do you feel that's impacted them and everything, what they're doing? So
I don't know if they actually totally know or are aware of what they're doing and the amazing thing they're doing, if I'm honest with you. Like they're asking to go for walks all the time now, which is a bit weird but lovely. And they love their walks. Like a lot of my friends and colleagues have been saying, I can't believe you get them to walk every day. I can't believe that they want to. I can't believe that you don't have to carry them on. So it's something that they're really enjoying doing. I don't know if they're aware of what they're doing, obviously who for and how well they're doing. But every time we flash like a paper in their face, not much, they're really excited, and they point each other out and different colours and so on. But I don't honestly or totally think they're aware of just what a brilliant thing they're doing, which is.
You must be picking up on the energy of it, I reckon. Would you say? Do you think that they picked up on the energy of?
Yeah.
They're dressing up as well, right? So not just like us, but.
So one of the big things to me, and those that know me well, is I don't shy away from colour, and I don't shy away from bright, energetic enthusiasm, you know. And I just thought, particularly in the early days of lockdown, because we've got quite an elderly population where I live here in Cheltenham, in the village, it was making people smile. And in the very early days, before I even started doing this fundraising, because we weren't going to parties, we weren't going to fancy dress things and so on, I just put them in colourful outfits anyway, and it was making so many of the elderly smile, and lovely comments, and it made me smile. And knowing that they weren't going to get to wear these outfits anyway now because you couldn't do anything, it sort of spurred me on to wear more colourful things and do that with them, because it just made people happy. And in a time of sadness, I think that's what we needed and still need.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I think that's quite interesting, actually. You know, our energies do reflect onto other people, and then it reflects back as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know that you and I were speaking earlier, and a lot of people think, oh, I'm just doing it to raise money, and I'm just doing it. There might be some critics who think I'm exploiting my girls, or doing it for attention, and no, I'm doing it for fun, but I'm also doing it on a more serious note for mental health, in that I'm very fortunate. I've never suffered from extreme mental health issues, but about halfway during lockdown, I started to have enough, as so many people do, or have done, or still do. And I need a challenge. I need to be motivated. I need a buzz. I like having, probably why I teach. And I thought to myself, well, I need a new challenge, I need a project, I need something for us to do to keep us going. And when this came up, I thought, well, what a great idea, something to achieve, something to give us another purpose to build towards. And that really lifted me, lifted the girls. It became their routine. It has become their routine. And I've got a good sized following on my friends and family on Facebook, and now Instagram. And people have said to me, many people have said they love the images, they love seeing what they're wearing, what they're doing, their faces. And all that is just a wonderful, lovely, positive energy that makes you want to keep doing it, make people happy and make us happy.
Yeah, you know, you've touched on quite a few things there, really, Emma. And obviously, I've been doing some live streaming classes, and I noticed it probably about halfway through lockdown. I've said it a couple of times on some of my other episodes that I noticed people's levels started to drop.
Yeah.
It's
weird. I didn't, because I'm quite a positive person. Can be quite loud, quite out there. I'm genuinely happy person. But even I was a bit like, what's the point? Well, the girls are missing out. I'm missing out. I'm not on maternity leave anymore, but I've reduced my hours at school for the time being, to spend time with my girls, to not educate them, to get out there, to do things, see people, life skills and so on. And when you couldn't do anything, it was like, I don't really get my purpose. They're not as deep and dark as that. But these walks, wildlife, nature, flowers, colours, people's faces, the local chickens, that they're loving it, I'm loving it, and we're really making use of our local area. And like I keep saying, bringing happiness to others and to ourselves. But definitely.
And I think the fact that's key. You've mentioned the word purpose quite a lot, and I think that's so important in everything that we're doing within life. And I guess in this situation, it kind of, for some, it could take that away. Maybe for all of us at some point it did. Others, no, that's great. It might give you more of a purpose. And I feel that we get more from life with that. And to be honest, what I would say is, how my mind works and looking in is, I think you're doing it's a great thing. Aww. For the girls anyway, because there's so much. And you've said it, you said it yourself, it's like that asking to go out for a walk. So for whatever reason, they may not understand fully, but something is being absorbed, that we're doing this for a reason. It makes them feel good, and it might be the smiles, the healthy, not for like the attention, but that it's this. Oh, so I do this, and people now I feel good because someone else feels good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not easy. I don't think that's easy for two-year-old girls the same age to be walking a mile. So
No. Well,
let's go two, and we'll do it in Wonder Woman today. And I think you've made, there's a lot of lessons I think to be from this. It's a great cause, but there's a lot of lessons for everyone. And I think just the that purpose for one, having challenging our minds. And I was a guest on a podcast on Friday, and I was talking about the things that make us happy, and what is happiness, and
yeah. So,
happiness. What are we gonna do? Stick at home, or let's do something?
And a friend made a really good comment to me actually just recently. She said, a lot of places are now reopening it, socially distancing, of course, and so on, paid places. And I said, well, my mindset is that you can spend a lot of money on going, and don't get me wrong, there's some beautiful places around here. You can spend a lot of money paying to get in this particular place or that particular place, when actually a lot of places, you can just go and make what you've got with your local natural surroundings. I mean, yes, as some might say, well, Emma, that's just who you are and you've got that ability to do that. But, go and find a stream to paddle in and stomp around in, take a boat in, take some plastic ducks in, go and pick some wildflowers, not too many, of course, go and have a picnic, go and make a shelter out of twigs and things. And the more you sort of think about it and even research it, the more you can do for free with what you've got on your doorstep, which I think I wasn't doing so much in the early days because I got swept away by the new mum clubs and things.
Yeah, well, I think just in everyday life in general, you're absolutely right. And because we've been forced, I don't know if I like the word social distancing, but we can still be social, right?
Yeah.
Go to these lovely places, and actually, because not everyone's going to be comfortable going into pubs or bars, restaurants. I want them to, but I know everyone's not going to be.
I'd like a pub to open.
Yeah. But something, and there's plenty of nice things, and you can meet up with people and enjoy some of that. And being around that, and again, I relate it back to girls, is that I think being in that open air, they're absorbing that nature. Yeah. And it's something now is that it's something you'll always be able to, this, when you was 2, you might not remember, but this is what you did. Yeah. And I remind children, like if I say to my Murphy's quite generous, so Murphy, you're the most generous, so he'd be more generous. So,
yeah.
Still a lot, I think, within children there. They learn so much.
Yeah, I think it becomes part of them. I think I was brought up very much in the outdoors. I mean, and I when I was pregnant, and then when I had the girls, I always thought I'm very much an outdoorsy person, exploring, adventuring. And I think that's very much how I want the girls to be brought up. I'm a bit worried about modern day society, social media, technology, and I know that in time they're gonna that's just what they do, and unfortunately in some respects. But while I still have a little bit of a say, and while we're going through what we're going through, and while they're still young, I want this to be part of who they are when they get older, and hopefully that'll be the case.
Well, you'll have a story for what they did when they say, "Mummy, what do we do in?"
Well, or they'll put their names in Google and be, "Oh, Mum."
Yeah, true.
Embarrassing.
So, obviously, NHS makes sense. You said you've seen an advert for Barnardo's. What drew you in with that to decide on that as one of the other charities?
So yeah, I was just I came up for Barnardo's. It's something called the Big Toddle. And like I said earlier, it's just you just fundraise for your toddlers to do, if you're one toddler, to do one walk. And I thought, now we'll all do a bit more than that. And I thought, I've got to make it worthwhile. I've got to make people want to invest in us, and so on. So I got in touch with them, and it's actually, I didn't know this, it's actually only going on at the moment in Ireland. I'm not sure which part. And they sent me an email saying, "Oh, you've got the wrong area." And I tried to contact Barnardo's UK, and they've just got back to me recently and said they're not running it at this point in time. But of course, all donations are welcome and so on. And they're very interested. They want to use what we're doing for publication. the NHS obviously are interested as well. But like I said earlier, I just thought I want this to be a thing for us to do, something to keep us all going. And so I did get an information pack sent through from Barnardo's, and there's all bits and pieces in it, but I just thought it's about getting out there and walking and doing our bit, really. That was another thing. Besides Barnardo's, and obviously for vulnerable children, you know, they do a fantastic job, and especially with lockdown and being a teacher myself, I'm very aware that there's a lot more issues going on with young people not being in school or full-time education right now. So just doing our little bit for them also makes us feel good.
Two great
causes. And the NHS, it was quite important for me that the money go local, because I've been really touched by 3 or 4 of my friends, my good friends, their stories, listening to them, speaking to them. Some of my friends are really on the front line. One of my friends, she's a member at the academy, and it just made me feel really sad, really hurt, really upset to see what they were going through, risking their lives. Some of them, you know, still are. And what can I do? You know, I am a teacher. That's great, and I'm doing my bit. But what else could I do? What else could we do? We just felt useless. So I just thought, we need to do something a bit more than just sit around and see it on the news and get upset about it. I want to put money towards buying more PPE, or, you know, let my friends know we care, which so many of us obviously do.
Yeah, well, a great message, Emma. I think that obviously there's been a lot happening this week, but there's many ways we can show that we care and, you know, we support stuff. And I think this is...
Well, with regards to what's going on this week in the media, that's really sad for so many reasons. But again, some of my friends who have been involved in that, or it affects their lives, have said seeing the bright, colourful, cheery, positive images of my girls and I on social media, again, just breaks up some of the sadness, you know. And I just think, well, it
is.
That's a lovely thing to hear. Yeah,
no, it is nice. I mean, I try, I'm really careful what I got on my news feed as well. So if it gets too negative, then I'll just, you know, maybe unfollow. But it's nice. I lose a bit track because I love it. I think the fact is you got loads coming out. So and it's that's nice. So,
it's just click on by, that's fine. But it's just a bit of brightness in what can be a lot of darkness.
More of it. Keep doing it. Do more of it. You know, we should be seeing it everywhere.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
And then we can all filter out the negative with it. You see, so that's how you work.
Well, I must be mindful that the negative and some of the darkness, it is important that we see it and we pay attention to it and we make reference to it in our own ways. But it's nice to have a bit of happiness mixed in as well.
You need a really strong balance, especially at the moment, because life is, in my opinion, but extremely out of balance at the moment, and we have been for a very long time, which is, in some respects, is probably why a lot of things have come to the and I don't think it's going to stop. I hope it doesn't stop there, but it's time to listen, really. Listen to our kids. We've gone off on one a bit there. So you're doing this, do you say you're doing it for 27 days? Why not 30?
Oh, Matt, no. So it was 5 days. Can you imagine, like, 2 years' time? Emma, could you stop walking now? It was 2 years' time. It was 5 days. And then we did that, you probably saw on my social media. We did like the end and the finale and the balloons and the ice lollies, and it was all lovely. And then a colleague of mine, she suggested, why don't you just do 26 days, so 26 plus days, make it a marathon. I was like, oh, well, this was at the time it was sort of kicking off in Daily Express, front page of the Echo, viral in the US. I like to say that, although it's not quite viral, but you know what I mean.
What happened with that? How did it, because it's made it, you know, across the pond. So
it's all just, I think so this is why we've carried it on with my friend and my colleagues suggesting that, and then seeing what was happening with it. I thought, well, why don't we? Because ultimately the main thing is we're making more money for 2 fantastic charities. So let's keep going. You know, I made it in the end. I made a Just Giving page. I've been spurred on by people's suggestions as well. It's become like a little close-knit community. So my fabulous friends and family have shared the Just Giving page.
Need a relay, so it should be like someone that's gonna, it's like almost like it's to carry an Olympic torch at the end, right? And it passed on
to a new toddlers.
Wipe it down. Pass on to the next one that's going to take up the mantle.
Oh, no. I don't know how so we finished the 5 days. I just got in touch with Gloucestershire Live. I just found their address on Google. I just thought, well, give it a go. It's a sweet story. If we could make another, because I only thought we'd make about £50, £20, £50. I expect people to go, oh, 20p, 50p to the girls. Well done. We're nearly at £1,000, which is incredible. And I didn't expect any of this. And so I contacted Gloucestershire Live, thinking they'd probably just laugh it off, or over keen mum, here we go. And before I know it, nice story there. Then I got contacted by somebody saw the story, contacted me privately, said, could we share your story? And then next minute we were in the metro, didn't know. The annoying thing is I haven't been told about where we're going to be. That has been a gripe of mine and has caused me a bit of upset. So the next minute we were in the metro. Then just by chance I was doing a Zoom meeting with some colleagues, and I said, oh, jokingly, Google my name, and I said, oh, there's a couple of things on there, and she was scrolling and said, Emma, there's more than a couple. I was like, what? Okay. And then video clips, MSN, and then that sort of, there's loads of them popping up in the US, and I thought, oh gosh. Right. And then the next minute I got told by a friend, or you're in the Daily Express. We hadn't been told about that. So, it's a little bit, doesn't sit completely comfortable with me, but hey, raising money. And then the next minute, a good friend of mine, she texted me a picture of, was on the front page of the Echo. I was just like, and then there's been quite a few online stories as well, which have been all interlinked. So, and then, of course, the BBC. The name of the guy, I won't say it on here, but he phoned me, and I tried to act all cool about it, but so he's asked for me to do a few things, so that might be on the news next week. So we'll just see.
Was that TV or was that the radio?
Oh, of course, and Gloucestershire. The radio. I had to do a radio interview as well. So that the radio interview's been done. That was last week. Unfortunately, I didn't hear that. But yeah, the BBC. I think it's a local BBC station. They have asked for some video clips, and they want to do a Zoom meeting with me to hopefully. I mean, you don't know, do you? I'm not being kept in touch with, but hopefully we'll just put something on next week.
Well, I expect to see you on Lorraine very soon.
Someone suggested the One Show.
One Show, yeah, why not? And Piers Morgan, yeah, let's go on Piers Morgan in the morning.
I've just, like we said earlier, I've just with a lot of peer pressure, I've just started an Instagram account, and I'm just learning how to
listen, Grace will help you with that, okay?
I keep phoning her. Another friend of mine as well was giving me like a little tutorial on it.
So much being on Instagram. I bet she can't wait to do that. And she's after the girls.
Come on, Gracie.
Yeah, there you go. Listen, Emma, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this interview.
Yeah, it's been good.
There were a lot of messages, in there. And I think as for parents and, just life in general, it's just, we can create our own happiness.
Yeah, that's totally it, Matt. I sought to create our own happiness, and we're doing all right. We're doing really well. That's totally it.
Before we finish up, because you are a teacher at a local senior school, and have you got some good advice for the moment? Because I'm a parent. I'm sure there's a lot of parents watching. We've been homeschooling and in our own way. And because obviously, I got my concerns and worries. My eldest will be going to senior school in September. So have you got any advice? And I know it may be an opinion.
Well, if I pass some advice, for example, on the homeschooling, I made sure that in all my, as a teacher, when I was setting work online, I made sure that in all my emails to my students, positivity. So, you know, please do what you can. There's no pressure. There's no stress from me. There's no massively high expectations. Please go outside in your garden, get some fresh air, have a break, go for a little walk. Your mental health comes first. You know, how are you? How's your family? Take care, look after yourselves, rather than do this, do that. That was so important to me. I had a lot of parents make contact with me to say thank you for that, because they're feeling massively pressurized by what was expected of them and their children, and I can't even begin to imagine. I think that, I mean, I probably can't and shouldn't say too much, because it would be unprofessional of me, but the child's mental health, I think, comes first, and what's best for them. I know some of my friends, they are sending their kids back to school and some aren't, and that's fine. Either choice is fine. Talk to your student child.
Yeah, that's great tips. I know it's very, very difficult, but me personally, I think 100% right. I think that's the most important thing for everyone at the moment. Mental health, staying somehow.
What's right for you? Like, so many people have put opinions again on social media, and this is what do what's right for you and your family. That's my biggest message.
Yeah, no, I like that, and because everyone's going to be different, and that's how I feel. Even when we open up the academy, I know not everyone's going to be comfortable with back at that time or how it may run. So and my mind's changed. I had a viewpoint with my girls going back to nursery, what we were, what you know, me going back to work, what we were going, and I change it all the time, and I think that's healthy, rather than be like, no, this is what I must do. It's more about thinking what's right for you and your family at that point in time. Great, best advice. I'm going to get you. Keep saying this. I need to get you back on, Emma, because we were doing the tips at one point, weren't we?
Yeah, with regards to exams, wasn't it? Yeah,
exams, everything. So no, it'd be nice to get you back on.
Thanks for asking me. It's nice to be back.
It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we'll see you in kickboxing at some point.
Absolutely. Now all this walking, I'm super fit.
Of course. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you, Emma. I'll speak to you in just a sec, Emma. I'll just say goodbye to everyone here first.
Thanks, everybody. Keep donating.
Keep donating. Oh, by the way, we'll drop the link, or Emma will drop all the links in the comments below. But please share the video, of course, and keep donating.
Thank you, everybody.